Saint Minas, the miracle of El Alamein, the patron saint of Kastro, and the miraculous consecration. The patron saint of great castle Kastro celebrates together with the city that connected modern history with the miracles of this great martyr, the saint of Heraclean Crete and the great castle Candia. Saint Minas came from Egypt, and the roots of his name seem to be found in Minas, which refers to the first pharaoh of the United Egypt and founder of the first dynasty. However, there's also an interesting tradition, according to which his mother named him Minas, and Minas, and she heard when she gave birth to him in 285 AD in Nicaea, near Memphis of Egypt, a voice saying, Amen. According to her, his parents, Evdokios and Euphemia, had no children and begged God to send them one. One day, as they were praying in front of the image of the Virgin Mary, they heard a voice saying, Amen, and this was considered a divine sign that their prayers had been heard. Christ with Saint Minas in the Coptic icon. Now the martyrdom and the burial. Aius Minas was martyred according to tradition during the reign of Emperor Diocletian. His body was taken by his sister to Alexandria in Egypt in a ship. And in the years of Athanasius the Great, saint of Alexandria, legend has it that an angel appeared to the patriarch and ordered the bishop and ordered him to place the saint's body, which was in a church in Alexandria, on a camel and lead the camel through the Libyan desert, as it was done. The camel then stopped at a well near Lake Marotida and refused to move from there, and then the faithful considered it a divine sign that the body of Saint Minas should be buried there. There is yet another tradition which wants the body to be transported again after adventures to Alexandria, in the same way, miraculous way, to return to its original burial place. And for this reason, after all, Saint Minas in early Christian representations is depicted between two camels. In fact, according to a tradition, his body was placed in a wood and silver sarcophagus. Official reception of the High Commissioner. Now, the martyrdom and sanctification. Above his tomb, the first Christians built, according to the custom of the time, a martyrion, which over the years, it was a small chapel. Over the years, as the cult of the saint expanded, evolved into a basilica, one of the most famous of the early Christian world, and the cult of Saint Minas was concentrated in Alexandria, Egypt, in the wider region, with patients from every corner of Christendom flocking to his tomb to be healed. As holy water flowed from the martyrdom of the saint, the faithful brought with them clay flasks in which his form and name was written as a rule in Greek, were imprinted with seals which were called blessings. Many of these, which the faithful took home to sanctify their own people, have been found in excavations across the Mediterranean and Europe, from Heidelberg in Germany to the Dalmatian coast and from Sudan to Britain, while several are exhibited in museums around the world, such as the Louvre in Paris and the British Museum in London. In the West, Saint Minas is depicted as a military saint, as of course military saints were also Saint Demetrius and Saint George and others, Saint Fanurius. Saint Minas depicted as a military saint, and we know that they were drafted into the military at a very early age, I think around 18, and they were in there at least 20 years. So it's worthy noting that Saint Minas is particularly popular. Many cities in Germany and Switzerland where he's worshipped as a patron saint of merchants and farmers. He's considered particularly miraculous, while his feast day in both Catholic and Orthodox churches is on the same day. That's today, November 11. Saint Minas is depicted as a military saint, and he has his statue as a subject of the Roman Empire, while in Crete he's represented as a rider on his native horse. Now, the discovery. The monastery of Der Abu Mina, founded around the basilica over the saint's tomb, was the most important pilgrim center in the East in the 5th and 6th centuries. The city that developed around the monastery was a real mystery until 1905, when the German archaeologist Karl Maria Kaufmann traveled from Athens to North Africa via Alexandria and Maratida, reached the area. The city of works of art, which had been described with admiration by the Arab geographer al-Bakri in the early 11th century, seemed like a legend, since nothing of it had been discovered except for some superficial traces that could not be identified. But Kaufmann was sure he was on the trail of the monastery. The tomb of St. Minas was one of the first monuments to be identified. 30 marble steps led to it, while the level of the four-bay crypt known as the Mari Mina, St. Mina, was 10 meters below the sanctuary of the basilica, which had been built in the years of the Emperor Constantine and was done by St. Athanasius the Great. The construction of the church was financed by the emperors Arcadius and Theodosius II, while its completion took place in 412 during the reign of Emperor Zeno. Now, to understand the significance of the monastery in the ancient world, scholars compare it to the reputation of present-day Lourdes in France. Kaufmann excavated the monument complex, confirmed the information that the historical source had saved. The monastery was first destroyed in 619 during the Persian invasion. In 628, it suffered serious damage when the Emperor Heraclius defeated the Persians and destroyed the Egyptian religious buildings. After the Arabs, the quarrels between Orthodox and Copts over the ownership of the temple gave the opportunity to Bedouins to loot it. In a tragic irony, what man did not destroy, nature did, as the holy water spring eroded the ground, destroying the monastery of Deir Abu Mina. Now, the Battle of El Alamein and St. Minas. The famous Battle of El Alamein, one of the most famous of the Second World War in June 1942, is related to St. Minas, since El Alamein is located next to his monastery, while the toponym itself means the place of Minas. El Alamein, place of Minas, St. Minas. There is even a legend that refers to the soldier saint, the military saint, about an unknown horseman who appeared in the camp of the Allies, cheering them on, giving them boldness and fortitude. Another tradition about a Greek soldier who fought at El Alamein describes this man on horseback appearing to emerge from the ruins of the temple, of the monastery temple, and lead a caravan of camels, terrorizing the enemy German troops. And of course it was none other than St. Minas. The cult of St. Minas seems to have come to Crete from Egypt via trade routes, as there are no relevant indications during the Byzantine period. The first references to a temple of St. Minas in the wider area of Heracleion Crete are found in the Second Byzantine period, while during the Venetian period it's mentioned that together with the Holy Virgin Mother in what is now known as Little St. Minas, the later patron of Heracleion, was also honored. And this is by Stavros Moutoufaris, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. And today, of course, is the feast day of St. Minas. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.